The past is something that often impedes us, it stops us from actually being in the present moment. It stops us from acknowledging the good, seeing the beauty in life, and actually being in the moment of personal fulfillment. Now, what I want to share with you is how to change how you perceive and look at the past in a way that is empowering rather than putting you in a space of being a victim or pulling you away from who you truly are and going on that trajectory, going on that path of self-realization rather than being stuck in a false identity of what happened before. One thing I want you to recognize is that the past is a tool, not an identity. We often identify with the past. We identify with things that has happened, even the good things that has happened, as if that thing is who you are. And what I want you to understand is though that thing was important into the coming to realization and the discovery of self, it is not the self. It is just a landmark. It is just a point in time where you got over something, where you faced a challenge, where you was able to tap into that divinity, that power within you to overcome. Now, yes, it's important to take pride in achievements to a certain degree, but again, not attaching yourself to it in a way that makes you feel like you are that thing. Because in time, that thing will become irrelevant, right? It won't become something that is important in this current moment, in this present moment. And so as you are holding on to that thing, though it is a great achievement, it is something that you recognize as your awakening to some degree, it isn't who you are. So in order for you to get into who you are, in order for you to continue along the path of self-realization, recognizing that you are a creator, recognizing that you are an expression of this infinite source we often call God, you have to let go of even those great achievements. And I know it can be tricky because using those achievements to help other people to recognize who you are is a part of society, is a part of life. But you must humble yourself and recognize that you're just simply playing the game of society, playing the game of life by saying you are this, you are that, you've overcome this, you achieved that, recognizing though that it isn't really who you are. You have to recognize this because as long as you keep holding on to this past, you will remain in the past. And remaining in the past is essentially akin to suffering, right? It's being in a space where you are held down. You're not living fully in the moment. So as you go through life, it's important to see that the past is a tool because when you use the past appropriately, it allows you to get into self-awareness, recognizing your skill sets, recognizing how you show up when certain things happen, right? When obstacles show up, challenges happen, bad situations happen, even good situations. By looking at the past, you can see your patterns. You can see how you are triggered and what actions you take or don't take, what things cause you to be paralyzed by fear, what things cause you to be excited and motivated with action. And when you look at that, then you have an opportunity, then you use the past appropriately to assess when given situations happen, how you can and will likely address it. But when you are not looking at the past in a way that is informing you of the lessons, of the patterns by which you are moving through life with, then you can't look at yourself honestly and say, well, these are the things that I can work on. These are the things that how I show up. Here I procrastinate a lot. Here I'm lazy. With these particular things, I am proactive. I'm excited. I'm focused. See, that gives you a clear picture of how you move through life. And when you have a clear picture of how you tend to move through life, then when things come up or when you pursue your goals and your aspirations, you can easily put your character, right? The attributes of yourself, whether it be positive or negative, whether it be productive or unproductive, you can assess, okay, what is the proper way for me to achieve this thing? What techniques, what strategies, right? Based on my past actions, my tendencies, my habits, how can I place myself in a position to win? How can I place myself in a position to be as proactive, as productive as possible toward this goal? Because a lot of times we often are not looking at the past from that lens, and we are forgetting the things that we have, done before. We're forgetting how we showed up and how you kind of avoided things, jumped straight headfirst into things. And therefore, when you have a new idea, a new aspiration, a new dream, we tend to forget about those things and think that we're going to just be different immediately without doing the work. Because you have to get into your subconscious mind. You have to get into the habits, the habitual thinkings, the paradigm shifts, right? Your belief systems. And you only can get into that when you look at how you've shown up in the past. But recognize and understand you are not those things. You are not the past. Those are just tendencies of how you were programmed to think, respond, and act. Your journey in this life is to let go of that false self, to learn how to maneuver, be empowered into letting that go, right? By healing, by processing, and then by reprogramming to a understanding or an alignment with who you truly are. That is the essence. That is the point of this whole journey. So you have to keep in mind that the past is simply a tool. It's a tool to assess. It's a tool to analyze. It's a tool to take, look at, right, from a broad point of view, right? Step out of it yourself and look at it as objectively as possible. And I know that is almost impossible. It's pretty impossible for you to be objective, but you want to be as close to objective as possible to look at it from a distance so you can see the whole picture of who you are, this person, right? This character that is often called you, and how that character can evolve or come into who you truly are. That is the journey. That is the mission. So recognize that you are not the past. All right. That isn't who you are. Those are just simply tools that you can use, right? Moments in time, stories, movies even, right? That you can look at to learn a lesson in how to maneuver proactively through life in order for you to achieve the goals and the things that you desire. So again, the past is a tool. It is not who you are. It is not your identity. Thank you so much. Feel free to go to drabundant.com and subscribe to my daily newsletter. You will also get access to this free ebook, The Power Within. Also, I invite you to join me on YouTube live for my Manifestation Monday morning meetings every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Continue to join me on this journey. Peace and abundance always.